Hi and welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how you can formulate the numbers when you're writing a business plan, a pitch deck or a selling memorandum, easy and quickly. We're going to use a Windows app called BlueSeed Plan. So imagine you've got to present some numbers to an investor, a bank, or just want to see the viability of a project that you've got in mind. With this tool you can calculate a set of projections of your financial statements based on the incomes and costs, investments and capital needs you have evaluated, without the need of the usually error-prone spreadsheet. So, first we're going to open the application. And then a new project. This first window you see here allows us to select some figures we're going to need later on. The number of periods, we put for example 10, but they can be up to 120. What is useful when you're working with months, for example. Then we're going to set the period of time definition. That can be calendar year, year on year, or monthly basis. Okay. This time we put calendar years and set 2017. We move to a project currency here and select, for example, dollars, which is just to mark that information in the reports we will obtain from the program. After this first three, we go to set the CPI and interest rates of the project. Both can be fixed figure. So you will be putting here something, okay. But in this case, for the CPI, I'm going to do it variable, and inside this drop-down menu I'm going to select linear coefficient. But first I'm going to show you how it could be with the manual one. Okay. Manual, if you select manual, you just have to put some figures inside the cells, whichever, okay, and press OK. As I've said, now I'm going to use linear coefficient. Here we put the initial rate on 0.25, for example, and then an increase of 0.5 for every year. We click calculate and see what we've got here. If it seems to be alright, we click OK. Next, the interest rate. Again, we select variable, and inside the drop-down menu, this time we are going to select data import. Okay, so I pick up the Excel file out. Right. First, I'm going to show you. I've got it here. Okay, this would be my interest rates figures for the project, and they go from A1 to J1, right, in the Excel file. I close that one and start writing at the sales range and Excel book sheet in this window. A1 to A1 INT, press import. Okay, I've got now my numbers and click OK. So now we've just got all the main variables of the project. We try to validate, and if there are no errors, we click OK. We can see now the main window of the program. In this first tab, we can check the values we have set before. If you cannot see the complete range, you can double click on the table and have full view. Also on the right hand side you see a list of ratios that will be updated every time we ask the application to calculate a report. And on the left hand side we can continue to put in the variables of our project. Now the corporate income tax rate. This can also be fixed or progressive in terms of the tax base brackets. Now we're going to select a progressive one. we go to the menu and use the close to for setting the first top limit of the bracket. You see, I put that figure in the next text box and then the rate in the percentage. Click Add to List, correct. Now, if you only have two tiers, select above in the drop-down menu to put the bound above it. All incomes get the maximum rates. We fill now the boxes, so we've finished here. Next, we're going to introduce the sales numbers, and we are going to put in some products and sales figures manually here, and then we'll use the time series functionality in this section here. Hence, we write a name for the first item sales, put the excise rate if applicable, unitary price, and units sold in a period. Then we select from the period allocation drop-down menu the period in which you want to allocate the sales. You see the selected period is adding up to easy data entry, so that if you keep the same price unit, you just have to click every time to fill the cells in every year. We also can check on the apply inflation box, and the price will be increased in the CPI rate we've set at the beginning. We do it with the second product and Word. For the next product, we are going to use time series. From the drop-down menu, we select that option. We can, of course, assign the excise rate if we wish first. Alright, do it. And now, pick the Excel file out. See now how I've got that range in Excel. You see, I've got a series of numbers here. It can be as long as you want. But there is a little change in the way you must introduce the data. In this case, you have to put total sales, not price and units like in the manual method. Alright, okay, we close it. Once the file is picked up, you write the sales range and see it. Press import and calculate, and the app now asks to introduce quantity of units sold. That one's will be used in sales budget reports, for example. So we can put some, and finally we press OK button. You see the application has allocated a name to this product that can be changed. Click on the correct cell ready button. You see, write another name. OK. Double click to have full view. Fine. And the last thing we work in this tab is to set the collection excise terms. So we go for the two given options, and in this case we select to do it for all projects. Put the numbers in. Okay, well, you always can later on change them one by one. Stock and purchasing is the next step. In the first line of the table, we'll place the final stock figure for every year. So first, check out the right radio button is selected, and then you can introduce the starting inventory amount, and then select if it have risen or lowered in every period, like I'm doing now. After that, we change to purchasing option. And here we can introduce all the goods we need to buy to deliver our final product. And we can do it manually or import it. In this case, I'm going to import from Excel. Then I proceed as usual. See how I've got that range in Excel this time. You see first column for the names of the products, and next ones for total expenditure in the year. We continue as before. Lastly, we've got to introduce the average payment term. We are missing in the last two blue rows of the table. The existing payment term already shows up because it'd be the same as the one you've put in the sales. Well, we step in staff costs now. And you can see also two options here: positions and wages and social expenses. Right. We're going to start with naming the job positions, then put in the number, the PAT, which stands for personal income taxes and contribution taxes rates. Withholding rates actually. We put it if needed, but then again I'm going to import this. So first I'm going to put these rates, whatever, 16, 6, 21 for example, and then pick on the data, import, select file, and let me see how I've got this range. Okay, you see in the first column are the names of the positions, then the average salary for that position, and then the number of them. Okay, in this column here. Okay, so we see which is the range A from U, A1 to U5, and we import the data. Okay, so then we have to close it first and then import. Alright, so we have now our data in the table. Right, we can double click and see what we've got here more clearly. And now we can put some social expenses, change the radio button, and then, for example, name the first one as Cantina, and put a total expense of whatever we want, 35,000. Right, and now we're ready. Next up is overheads, and we're going to import that ones too. See my Excel file. Here I put the names of the expenses and then the costs. Right. Close it and proceed as usual. Fit now the average payment term And we've got it. Following sales and expenses first tabs, you've got to begin introducing investments, assets, and capital needs for a project. And we command with this tab in fixed assets. To put the fixed asset down in this table, you first have to select an item from the drop-down menu called Asset Class. You see ID plus D, expenses, goodwill, buildings, vehicles, land. So we choose one, for example, and put the excise tax if applied and depreciation rate. Then we put the price of the cost in the text box below. Click at select the period of acquisition. Click add to list. And finally go to terms. Fill the rate payment. And add to list. Well, you can do it with all the assets you need in your project. I'll try some others. Next, we move for financial tab. And now we will to get the financial investment and funding. We proceed the same way as in the previous section. First we select an item. We now are in the expenses side of the tab. So we select, for example, leasing, the term, excise tab, nominal interest, or fixed of 5, for example. Equipment value, and if residual value, if it has got something, and the time, initial period. Okay, add to list, and we've got that one. We can do any time we want. We, for example, now I want to do the revenue side of the table, and select, for example, loan of 10 years with a fixed rate of 3, loan amount 50,000, for example. So you can do it anytime you want, but for now we are ready. Next we move to non-operational, where we can play things like subsidies, bursaries, grants. Also you can add provision of the project if you think any asset of your balance sheet can lose any value. So we're going to put some figures. On the last tab, stockholders' equity, you can set the capital needs of your business. So here we put common stock for a project. Click add to the list, and here below we can add an increase of capital in the next year. For example, common stock increase, or if we've got additional paid-in capital, whatever. So, for example, we want to put a common stock increase of I don't know 500,000. That occurs on 2020 at the list, and you see the change here. Tax credit and profit sections allow you to choose if the losses can be offset in following years or not, and if the company has any profit, if you want to retain it or make it cut to dividends. So after all this data is introduced, we're going to ask the application to issue some reports. So we click in the right icon and let's check on the boxes of the reports we want to get. For example, income. Wait a little bit. Well, and see what we have. Well, this is the income statement. Now the balance sheet. This would be a sales report, right? The financial ratios of the project. Some graphics. Sales and profit. Alright, so this is all for now. Thanks for watching.